water from my fish tank to make
Angus.
and Burger King.
Really
There is a man who kept a burger for 20 years and it didn't go bad.
Yes, and you
So who
too,
knows what will
definitely.
happen? I'm getting dirt
Yes, it's
from my
going
yard
us.
to start us off.
UK
Who
is
knows what will
rusty.
come from this dirt? I also added water from my fish tank to make sure the ecosystem has everything it will need. To start us off, I'm adding a few animals. Roly-polies and some little white bugs called springtails. These will be the first to move into our new world. Now we can add the burgers. I'm cutting them in half so we can see inside. I'm in the UK. How do these compare to the ones in the US? Let me know. Once they are in, that's it. They are sealed. Whatever happens, happens. On day one, the first thing to go moldy is the burger sauce. The springtails are actually eating the mold rather than the burger. They will play a major role in keeping this clean. Look at these two munching on the mold. It's like a whole buffet for these guys. Why do I imagine these guys are like best friends? They're so cute. But the burgers themselves still look kind of okay. I think at this point you could probably still eat it. And on Burger King, I would say the majority of the burger still looks good. The bun looks fresh, the burger still looks okay, but there is one spot on this burger that is going moldy already. On the meat here on the right side of the burger, there is some little mold that come out on these little white balls. But at this point, maybe you could eat around it. It's day 3, and the mold on the Big Mac has spread. It's interesting that it's all spreading from the burger sauce across the floor. But above it, the burger looks fine, to be honest. I don't know, my great-grandmother would have just scraped the mold off and eaten it, I think. On the Whopper, there is now mold spreading from the backside of the bun. It's interesting that it spreads to the ground, but probably is actually coming from the ground to the burger. It's now day 4, and things have changed up a little bit. The mold on the Big Mac has gone nuts. The mold on the Burger King has also progressed. Not quite the same degree, but it is getting more. There is now some on the actual burger bun and the burger itself. I think you would probably get sick at this point if you ate it. The mold has progressed so much that I don't think we'd even be able to see in soon. There's also a separate type of mold growing on the burger. This is coming off in little cotton balls. It looks like little balls of weird mold. If you know what types of mold this is, let everyone know in the comments. This mold looks like lots of different hairs, and at the end of the hair there is a ball. And if the mold is younger, it's white, but if it's older, it's turning black. I don't know what any of this means. I do know that I probably shouldn't eat it at this point though. It's now day 5, and welcome to the world of mold. The Big Mac has been engulfed by a big, fluffy cloud. I can't believe how quickly this has spread, but for the first time, there is a sign of life. A plant has sprouted from the dirt. This single plant will keep the animals alive, creating air for them to breathe. Over in the Burger King jar, things look very similar. Mold has spread all around the burger. It's so moist in there, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a little window here for us to look at the quality of the meat. At the moment, the meat kind of looks okay. Would you eat this? On the other side, things look kind of funky. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't look good for me. It's now day 6. The burger is almost impossible to see. It's been fully swallowed by the mold. Our orange roly-poly is clinging down by the base of our singular plant. I reckon they're trying to get as much fresh air as possible. At this point, I'm worried. If the roly-poly eats the plant, it's the only thing making breathable air in his jar. We just have to hope that they don't do that. Over in the Burger King jar, seeds are also sprouting. I'm not sure if it came from the dirt or the burger, but either way, it's the first step to us forming a full ecosystem in this jar. Things kind of need to be able to breathe if they're going to form a civilization. At the very top, more and more of the mold is forming into these weird looking black balls. Different types of mold are bursting into colour. I don't know what they are, but they look really pretty. Down in the underworld, beneath the mold barrier, life is clinging on. Our roly-poly is resting by the plants, and you can see springtails foraging. This roly-poly looks to be resting in a little chamber. Who knew you could make a bedroom out of mold? In the Burger King jar, a roly-poly is resting by one of the few plants starting to sprout in the jar. This is the first time that I've spotted an animal that I didn't put in here. Down there is a little worm. I have no idea what that is or where it came from, Did it come from the fish tank? Did it come from the dirt from the yard? Or did it come from the burger?
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Guys, Dana just built an app.
Impossible. You can't code. Interesting. Can it generate reports?
It can now.
Nice. So you're saying we can all build apps now?
Yeah.
I'm on lunch. I gotta be quiet.
Right.
Just built an inventory tracker. Protein calculator. We'll share an app. A workflow manager that
Tracks who still owes for the group lunch.
flash duty scheduling.
It's now day 7, and things are really changing up. As you can see, these jars look very different. The McDonald's jar turned black, and beneath it all, the family of roly-polies clings to existence. Thankfully, they haven't eaten the plants, and the plants are beginning to progress. There's now more and more springtails than ever before. Springtails seem to be the main thing in this civilization, and as I watch the springtails, I notice something. Down there, fluttering as wings, is something called a fungus gnat. Fungus gnats live to eat rot, and they make so many baby worms that also love to eat rotting things. And little did I know, this was the beginning of an explosion of life. In the Burger King jar, life has exploded. Everywhere you look is an explosion, different shades of greens and colours. The jungle is forming. This is probably the best the air has ever been in this jar. You can see many animals going about their daily business. It's now day 9, and these jars look a little bit darker. There's now more fungus gnats in the jar. In the Burger King jar, things have really exploded. There is life everywhere, new plants, new faces, new flies. The ecosystem is thriving. Also, why does this lettuce still look good? What is in that lettuce? The springtails go about their busy day in their new paradise, and the roly-polies now live in a cave made of burger. I don't know if this is mold or whether it's algae. As I was trying to film this pretty mold, I realised that the glass was moving. There are thousands upon thousands of tiny worms all across the glass. Now day 10, and today marks a day where a main event occurred. A fly appeared in my jar. I don't know how that was possible. Perhaps a maggot, but now this fly is busy pumping the burger full of eggs. At the back of the fly is a little tube that it sticks into the burger. Little did I know that this would be a major event turning the story of these jars. In the McDonald's jar, things hadn't really progressed. A few plants have cropped up, but nothing major compared to the other jars. Today, we lost one of our roly-polies. Lying next to this plant is one of our original roly-polies. In the Burger King jar, the plants had gone nuts, sprouting everywhere around the base of the burger. Life was going so well that animals had moved out of the dirt and into the sky. This truly is a thriving civilization. Then I noticed something. Down in the dirt, digging tunnels, was a millipede. Where on earth did this guy come from? He must have came from the dirt from outside. I did not put a millipede in these jars. Mr. Millipede seems to be living his best life down the dirt, surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of springtails. It's at this point that you can really tell that the burger meat is rotting. There's even creepy, crawly worms sprawling across the icky meat. I have no idea what that is. There are now things growing that I don't even know what they are. Is that mold anymore? Or is that some advanced civilization that I don't know about? And it's at this point I noticed something new. It looked like some sort of cute armoured bug, but after a while of Googling, I realised this was a tick. Mr. Millipede was running around like he owned this jar. And in my mind, he did. This is the mascot of the jar, if I ever had one. It's now day 11, and a new plant has appeared in the McDonald's jar. I think that's grass. It makes sense. I did take the dirt from my yard, which is full of grass. The roly-polies are still thriving in this jar, but you can definitely tell the ecosystem has not burst into life as much as the Burger King jar. In the Burger King jar, the fly has now gone silent, sitting permanently upon our burger, with thousands upon thousands of her babies taking over this jar. This is now the land of the maggot. And unfortunately, we are now another roly-poly down. But it's okay, because I still spotted Mr. Millipede today, even if he is surrounded by an army of worms.
No,
It's now day 12, and things are starting to look different. Things aren't as bright and luscious as they once were. There's a dark tone to this jar. Mr. Millipede had retreated to an underground burrow as the surface world was taken over by even more maggots and worms. And then something happened. Britain went through a heatwave, the worst heatwave in decades. And if you didn't know, in the UK we don't have AC. So in my house, it got to 95. And very similar to the dinosaurs and their meteor, this event would change the course of our jars.
The probability of me understanding this is 0.
You should AI that with Copilot.
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
It's now day 13. In the McDonald's jar, the grass is still alive, and there are many, many springtails still going. But unfortunately, this was the last day of the roly-polies. They have all but disappeared. The army of worms is now in both jars. The Burger King jar now looks kind of sickly, and the plants really look like they're struggling. The heat wave caused a lot of animals to disappear, and because of that, a lot of nutrients went into the soil and began a spiral that even I couldn't stop. The glass in the jar now looks like a graveyard. It's now day 14, and the hustle and bustle of the once busy civilization is now replaced with silence. The once swarming soil now has barely animals left. Even Mr. Millipede was gone, and all that remains was the worms. The dirt in these jars were now turning into something that the plants couldn't grow in. It's now day 15. The plants, gone. Animals, gone. All that remains now are a few straggling survivors that have hatched after everything else has disappeared. But they too, without the bustling civilization and the ecosystem to thrive in, will also disappear. And all that remains now is to open these guys up. This is either a really funny idea or a horrific idea, but let's do a sniff test. I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay, I want to sniff it. Let's see how bad it is. Okay, right. So, all the flies. Right, go for it. The That's going to the bin. Oh, oh, my eyes. Oh, look at that. Look at my eyes. Help. Guys, this is a brand new channel, and we're trying to get this to 100k subs. So if you like these types of videos, subscribe to help us along.
As you know, times are ever changing, and one thing that is always constantly changing and is so exciting are vinyl records. However, vinyl keeps getting
smaller
and smaller. Literally, how insane is this? Now, is this like a record you can play? Yes, technically you can. It does remind me of like the CD disc, like the hip clip things or whatever, where you could pop in the songs and they would play. I never had one of those, but I do know that they exist. And now we have these micro itty bitty mini brain.
Right.
What you want to do is save hundreds for Liberty Mutual to customize your car insurance. That's great, but can you ask?
Yes. I'm happy that I did this, but I'm so upset that I spent that much money and I didn't get the fuck.
You spent that much money.
10, 8, 9, 10.
She's telling how many she got.
Great, because then I could put all of these records in the great unique ones that we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, well, 18. Okay, not bad. That's so exciting. That's all that I have. I do feel a little bit defeated. I can't lie to you guys. This was really fun though, and these are really cute. And I'm glad that they make the little crackly sound and that they work. I do think that the arm on the turntable is a little bit gimmicky. At least mine is. I'm happy that I did this, but I'm so upset that I spent that much money and I didn't get the 5 cents. We will persevere, we will survive. Let me know what you guys think about this. I think it's fun, I think it's cute, I think it's a way to get the younger generation interested in vinyl records. I think this is an awesome accessory. Obviously, as most mini brands are, but like for Barbies and stuff, like this is the first time I've seen like records in a size for people that do like the dollhouse builds and stuff. I think this is so fun. I've seen people have little wall setups and they like have these little miniatures like hanging on the wall with the turntable. So cute. I wish I could do that. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to do. Why didn't we have any Sabrina Carpenter? Why is there no Harry Styles? I assume it's also probably like they have to get permission from the artist to release this stuff. Justin Bieber, like they probably just weren't interested. Tame Impala would be a really cool one to do. 21 Pilots would be super fun to do. Sleep Token would be another fun one. Eminem would be really cool to do as well. So I don't know. I'm curious to see where they go with this, if they do release more or not. But yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you again very, very soon. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Peace out, Girl Scouts. Why is it weirdo?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're reviewing the Mini Brands Really Works vinyl series. So we have the record player that comes with the Hot Pink Bruno Mars album, and then I also have 4 of these to open up. So I'm very excited. I've already reviewed the Miniverse version of the vinyl, so if you missed that, check it out. But I want to see how it compares to Mini Brand. We'll see who does it better. There are some instructions at the bottom of the box where you turn these, and it tells you how to get it out easier. So let's see. This one also varies from Miniverse because it has a chargeable plug. Miniverse just has a battery. We do have instructions. You just put the vinyl over there, turn it on, and then just move the needle over and press down. So with Miniverse, you just move the needle over and it starts playing. Huge. So I will time it, see if it plays longer than Miniverse and all that good stuff, and then give you my thoughts so you know which one I think is better. I love these little twisty things. They're so easy to remove. Not familiar with these clear ones. I think they just lift off, it feels like. Me not looking at those nice instructions that they gave us. Figures. Okay, so this comes off. It is already charged. I just turned it on. I cannot play the song for you because it's all copyright, but I can mute it. You can kind of see how it does. You see it on, and then I guess you do have to press the. It's pretty cool. I feel like this piece feels flimsy compared to the Miniverse one. It almost feels bent. You see it? Maybe it's not. Yeah, and for size comparison, this one is bigger, but the other one's taller. So I kind of lean towards this style just because I like the black and silver. But yeah, the brown and black is kind of a more vintage feel in my opinion. But as far as the sound quality, they sound good. It comes in the plastic sleeve, slightly different than one of the Miniverse, and they are bigger. So this is a Miniverse, the TLC, and then you see how much bigger the Mini Brands one is. So just some slight differences, but not anything that's a deal breaker. Well, let me time this and see how long it plays compared to the 30 to 35 seconds the Miniverse did. This played for about 30 seconds, so they're almost the same. This one I think was 35 because I included like the static noise that goes for like a second or two. So about the same. This does not fit on here. They're slightly different sizes. I don't want to like force it, but the sound quality I don't feel like is a little bit better with the Mini Brands one. This is very loud though. When Raylan was playing with it, I could hear it rooms over, and the quality was pretty decent. So they do a decent job with that. This says now playing. It's a little display thing that I took from the box, and it does hold one of the records, so I like that. That's really cool. So yeah, let's see. We have the charging port back there, and I don't know if I like the charger or the battery better. I don't know. I do appreciate that it came partially charged though. That's really nice. But yeah, let's see what's in the capsule. I need to get the checklist out of here because, in my opinion, Mini Brands has way better selection of records. She's gasping. It's true though, and I'll show you why. Let's open it.
So, you finally realized you need a puppy in your life. You go on Google and find us, Tolerate. Check out our tabs to make finding your...
Let's open the first one. I hope we don't get a bunch of dupes. Let's show the people. These are interesting. So they're all individually wrapped, and then you get a special one. Show them. That's an accessory of some sort. So it could be like an award, headphones. You could go enough and enough. And see what we got. What is this, Sam? Oh, okay, cool. So it's more of those things I was just showing you that say now playing, and they hold records. We got 2 of those, and then this. So that's really neat. I like that. Let's look at the checklist real quick. So theirs says there's 45 to collect, and I think that they're all out. Unlike the Miniverse one that says 50 to collect, and there's only 20 out. But there's some goodies in here. We have Sting, we have Steppenwolf, Fallout Boy. I know. We have Katy Perry. See which ones I am. There's some people on here I don't really know. They do have Kendrick Lamar, and I'm very excited for that. I think that's hilarious.
I wonder if they have flashlights.
I don't know.
If they don't, I'll be so good.
They do have Pink Pony Club. So interesting. They also have Imagine Dragons, like the other one did, but they have Thunder, and I don't think Miniverse did Thunder. They did. Which one did they do? Believer. That's right. Yes. So they have Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us," and I think that is
Not Like Us.
Hysterical. That song is still continuing to haunt Drake. I think that's hilarious. I really, really want that one, and I'm a bit surprised they took the push to do that. I would love to know what the process was for deciding which ones to use.
You're not like that. Make you mad. I guess you're not. You're not like us. You're not like us all the time.
Was it just they contacted their favorite artists, you know, and asked them and took the ones who said yes? I don't know. But here's some of the other accessories you can get. And then you can get speakers, crates, those little stands like I got. And then the exclusive one that only comes with the record player. So, yeah.
Thanks,
basically it's just one. The Kendrick Lamar ones, really. I do. That would be funny. They really do need Nirvana. I was expecting more like plastic ones with the Stones, Led Zeppelin. Not that these bands aren't good. They're just not the ones I would get super excited about. And same thing with Miniverse. Like, there were some interesting picks on there as well. But yeah, I wanted ones that like were sentimental and meant something to me. But all that being said, let's see which ones we got. So I'm gonna open this one. I'll let you open the next one. Okay? This is pretty thick paper. I got Sex Ambassadors VHS. I don't know what that is.
In Pittsburgh, we were the home team in their hours and with more than 25 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we're right beside you, Pittsburgh. Chase, make more of what's yours.
When emergencies strike, first responders need the traditional technology as fast as they can. And that's why T-Mobile created
Don't even remember seeing that one on the checklist. Let me look and see who this is supposed to be. There's obviously a lot more detail on here than the other ones. I do like Miniverse though because it tells you what name of the song it plays on the back. So I do like that. So this one plays a song called Renegade. I probably know it, I just don't recognize it as that name, but go ahead, Raylan, open the next one. They're a little hard to rip, like I said, it is thicker paper. So far, he's rare.
It's like a teal chocolate.
Yeah. What is it? What is it? Spaceman by Nick Jonas. So this one, I think it plays a song called Delicious. Now, their covers are also different too. Instead of splicing them open, they have like a sticker part. I know. I'm not sure if I like that or not. You have to remove it to get it out. And it does have that inner sleeve too. I will say it looks like a little bit more detail. Slightly thinner maybe than Miniverse. I'm going to play this one. Of course, like I said, it'll be muted for you. So let's see if I know this song. I can confirm I've never heard that song in my life, but Raylan says she has. She's heard it on YouTube before. So, it would be yeah, just a second. It would kind of be a pain because I'm particular and want to keep them in the sleeves. So, like, if you want to listen to them, just take them in and out. And then, of course, it's sticky. It's going to lose its stick. It's sticking to the back of the thing. She's like, I know these are yours, but we're not doing that.
Yeah, that's mine. I'm not gonna be the one playing with it.
Okay, so far, don't really know any of those. Dun, dun, dun. That Mercury. Oh my goodness. I'm not familiar with some of the artwork. Now, if it had been like 90s edition or something, I would be probably screaming at all of them. This is considered uncommon, and this is Rick James Super Freak. So that's a good one. That's a classic. Where's the last one? Okay, go ahead. Don't take mine. Okay, sorry. These other ones I got are common. There's common, uncommon, and then rare.
Okay,
I know.
What are you?
I think Kendrick is rare for both of them. No, they don't have this one. Let me see.
For what reason?
Ooh.
Those are beautiful things.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
Now, I do know that song. It's
Benson.
not my type of music, but I do know that song. Yep, don't give me copyright. You can't sing. Okay, so do you know that song? It's not my type of music, but I do know that song. Yep, don't give me copyright. You can't sing. Okay, so these four were in the first container with our accessory it came with. Pretty cool. Let's open the next one. All right, go ahead and open that. This looks...
Must be good.
Headphones, maybe?
This is only headphones. Yeah, it's headphones.
Yeah. I know
So
people are
just
super
incredible.
geeked about these. Okay, it does look better in person. They do have joints here where it moves. It does feel kind of rubbery and realistic. And pretty decent size. Might be cute to lay on the table. It doesn't do much for me personally. I'm more of a fan of like the crates and the things that hold up the records. But feel it. Pretty soft.
I wonder if it's also been this.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so I do.
You want to open one while I open?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf.
Which one is this? Is this no, Born to Be Wild. That's a good one. Happy to have one.
It's red.
And I think these are all like probably exactly what it looks like on the back of the records, whereas the other ones weren't from Miniverse. So that's pretty cool. Got a red one.
Fallout Boy.
Ooh.
Fallout Boy.
Fallout Boy. I thought it was Fallout Boy.
I can't remember what that song
Let's
was.
see. Is this the rare? Scanning as quick as I can. It is an uncommon. What you did in the dark. Oh, my phone's never doing that.
That's
So we have that one was a common, okay. Common and uncommon. Come on, Kendrick. This is that one girl. This is Messy by Lola Young.
Messy is so cute.
Oh, I saw this censored. I saw this. Someone posted the picture and they were, oh, I saw this censored. I saw this. Someone posted the picture and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe that they picked this album. It has the F word on the back. I think that's hilarious. Smash Mouth. Okay, that's a little 90s friend. Yep, this is Walking on the Sun. The other one's Messy. Both are common. We got common, common, uncommon, and a headphone in container number 2.
That one. That's somebody red.
Okay, we have what, 2
Oh,
more
yeah, I
containers.
censored one.
So looking for either Kendrick. This time around, we got a speaker. And there's an actual button. Does it do something? Oh, does it just make it boom, 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 boom? You see how it moves? I guess that's all it's done. That's kind of funny. Huh.
Is one of my favorites on the music?
Sure.
It is Always Inside Blink-182.
So here's a Miniverse speaker, mini brand speaker, just for comparison. See what those look like. Again, I'm more of like the black silver look than the brown, but just color preference. Okay, you gonna open one? What's new? No, it's not. We have a dupe, our first duplicate. That's okay. We got 2 duplicates with Miniverse, so. I don't know. Is this the same Smash Mouth we just got? Oh, there's 2 different Smash Mouths? Okay. Let's see. Scanning. Yes, this is All-Star, and this is an uncommon.
All-Star.
Okay.
Is it All-Star from Shrek?
Yep.
That's my favorite.
That's
Well, one of my favorites.
This one says, my turn. I don't know what this is.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
So we got 2 of the same ones, except one is a deluxe, but the album cover very similar. This is Lil Baby. One plays Lowdown and one plays Whoa. I don't know either of those ones, but they're both considered common. You think like the deluxe would be another common, but nope. So that is in the second batch. We have 1 more batch. Okay, go ahead and open that. Is that another speaker? It's speaker shaped. I don't get to see on mine.
It's another speaker.
Oh man. Well, at least we have 2, so they match. I was kind of hoping it would be that bigger stand.
I know the little stand thing. I can switch out the big boxes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's open some. I'm open these 2. You open those 2.
I can ring this one.
Yes. As soon as I saw the car. No, it's Squabble Up, but that's one of my favorite songs off his newer album, so that's exciting. Another dupe. This is Lil Baby again. So we have 2 duplicates, no biggie there. What did you get? You got Billie Eilish? Maybe. No, way off. It's Shawn Mendes. Shawn Mendes. I know. I just thought maybe it was she was on here. So this one is a common and it plays Can't Imagine. Ooh, Chaperone. Very cute. We love her. She's sassy. She's like a sassy girl. It might be. Yep, this is Pink Pony Club. Yes. I think there's 2 of her. Someone also told me they found her name wrong on the checklist. Which, nay, whoever was supposed to be proofreading that. But, yeah, maybe Pink Pony. No, Good Luck Babe is the other one, and that's a red. I didn't even pay attention. Let me show you this. I didn't realize that it shows you what the vinyls look like. So, for example, most of them are black. It's just like a sticker. So, like, this one's red. That's cool. That one's blue, white, red. So, it's fun. Let's see, did I get any? I got that Messy Girl. Let's look at hers just to see. Where is she? There she is. Oh, with the curse word on the back.
Looks like by Messy, like maybe like the sport guy Messy.
Oh my gosh, no.
Messy the books.
That I do know. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So I'll say I like the record player for Miniverse better. It's easier to operate, doesn't feel as clumsy. I like the color scheme. I like the size of the Miniverse records, I think. I don't know, I guess that's not too important. But what I do give to mini brands is this. They're different colors. That's really cool. So they're more unique looking. And I'm a sucker for like bright colors. I mean, sometimes, yeah. And then they have these other inserts. So if I could like mix and match and change certain things from them, I definitely would. I feel like somewhere in between this size and this size is good. But maybe it's just because I was introduced to this one first that I like that more. These have more detail. I don't know. The sound quality is pretty good on both. So leave me a comment and let me know what you think. What do you think, Braylon? I feel like the song selection slightly better on mini brands just because they have like old stuff and new stuff. Well, I guess Miniverse did
There's no
too.
Miniverse because they're like, I'll just don't think that's the reason.
That one's your favorite? Awesome. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna open up Kinder and play it because I got to hear it, but
Yeah, no, no, no.
well, I'm not gonna play it on the video. She says no. Let's see what this fits in there. Yeah, and that fits nice and snug in there so you could display your albums. So I like that. I love it so much. So I don't know. I mean, there's pluses and minuses of both of them. All comes down to, I guess, like the look, the color scheme. One's battery, one charges, one has a little bit more detail, one's bigger. I don't know. I'll continue to collect both just based on what albums are on there. I need to see if there's any hacks to tell you how to find the ones you're looking for. So if you want to see me open more of these, leave me a comment and let me know. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're reviewing the Mini Brand Really Works vinyl series. So we have
creepy at all. The display has various images of the good guy doll, which is carried over from the individual boxes. The back of the individual box has more of the good guy doll advertising, namely the modern small book that Net has still wanted to give a shout out to everyone responsible for bringing these unique good guys to our collection. Now, this display holds up to all acceptable Wi-Fi figures and recordings of unique good guys. So, the odds are in your favor. Except for the purposes of this review, I'm going to try to get each one on my first try without getting any goofy. And if I'm successful, I'll let you know how I did. So, let's go ahead and select our pick. And we're just going to go one by one down the line. And one thing to take note of is that each box has been sealed with a really strong adhesive. So, whether you buy it in store or online, you're definitely going to know if someone's been tampered. Since this is our first one, we already know it's going to be a good hit, so let's go ahead and rip it open. Yeah, so they definitely don't make this easy. Oh, this is actually kind of interesting. Each figure is going to be wrapped up in an individual bag, so that should give you some real peace of mind in case you're ever finding it in store. If this bag is sealed, you know it hasn't been tampered. So let's go ahead and rip it open. Kind of exciting. Alright. And look what we have here. Chucky's all tied up. Man, Mickey naughty. Version of Chucky is based on a look towards the end of season 2, where he gets tied up by our heroes with the hopes of eventually performing an exorcism on him. smiling right through it. And then his hair is pretty much par for the course for that Ultimate TV show Chucky figure that came out a few years ago. Now, he isn't technically fully articulated, but NECA did a really good job tying him up with this spline, so I'd hate to undo it. I'd rather keep him in this book, so this is how he's pretty much going to stay on my shelf. But we're still pretty early on in this blind box thing, so the first hits are probably going to be pretty successful. So let's go ahead and open up our second. Still got to get in there.
I can't remember you.
Yes. Oh, this is the one I wanted the most.
It hurts me just looking at it.
So what we have here is the Chainsaw Chucky, and it's inspired by his look in the final episode of Season 2, where essentially Chucky has the tables turned on him and winds up facing the wrong end of the world's quietest chainsaw.
Chevy Silverado. Technology. You're shopping with blinders on. It's a meat gold mine over there.
It's a pretty ridiculous and brutal scene, and this figure definitely doesn't disappoint capturing all the gruesome details. And for those of you wondering, it's also the perfect companion piece to that holiday version of Chucky, which I still need to track down. NECA did an incredible job with the flesh wound. I also like the touch of darker paint that we're getting in the front of his hair, where it's been obviously soaked in the red stuff. And then again, we can actually fully utilize all of his articulation, which is never a bad thing. And even though he does come with a pair of relaxed doll hands, since he has gripping hands with him right now, we'd rather use that to hold his chainsaw. Perfect. Very happy with this one. I'm so glad I got him on my second hit. But we've got 4 more to try out, so let's keep this thing moving. Alright, let's see if we can go 3 3. Doesn't feel like one that we've already got. Okay, feet first. And... oh.
My jaw dropped.
And I'm definitely starting to notice the trend. All of these Chucky figures seem to be largely inspired by a different look from Season 2 of the TV. This particular
Season 2
episode 7, where Chucky and his psychiatrist try to make a great escape, but he winds up literally biting the bullet when a perfectly aimed shot from a fan-favorite character leaves the Lakeshore Strangler feature. As you can see, his jaw has been completely removed, and now his tongue is just dangling. Another thing was splashes of red paint on his good guy overall to indicate blood coming from his mouth. His body is pretty much identical to every other Chucky released thus far. But I've rambled on long enough about this figure. We're halfway through the Blind Box series, so let's see if our luck continues on the 4th box. This definitely feels different. Feet first again. Alright. Alright, what we have here is Buck Chucky, or Hulk Chucky as he was known in Season 2 of the TV series. He was one of the dozens of good guy dolls who had a piece of Charles Lee Ray's soul. And this one, obviously, like pumping it as legit. That's exactly what I hate. The entire torso is new, and then there's a new chest overlay for his overalls. I'm also digging the paint and sculpt that we're getting on his ripped sleeve as well as his good guy doll shirt. And you can see that the sculpt of those abs really continues down his wrinkles. I mean, what can I say? He has looks to kill, but a body to die for. Now, this version of Chucky also includes a knife, which is par for the course for just about any kind of weapon we get with the horror figure these days. But I would have preferred if he came with a pair of fists instead, because he did do quite a bit of punching in the TV series. But other than that, I can't really complain too much. I'm also really digging the expression that we have on his face. I think we got it on the original TV show Ultimate Chucky figure, but it looks really nice on this body too. But now that we have him out of the way, we just need 2 more figures to complete the set, so hopefully they're in these final boxes. And here we go. Alright. Give it a little pick. Yes. Yeah. The ball.
All of it.
Misadventure. A baby doll. Come in. Be this a joke. Alright. Yeah. I got it. 6 for 6.
You did it. You actually did it.
We have what appears to be be a regular good guy doll, but I think it's based off of the version of Chucky seen in season 2, essentially known as Good Chucky, who was an evil good guy doll who was brainwashed by the main character to be good. But if there's one rule about the Chucky franchise, it's this: dog with the Chuck. And even though this figure isn't nearly as unique as the other figures that you can get in the Blind Box series, you can still always pretend that he's an unpossessed version of the good guy doll, and because his body is completely identical to all the other Chucky releases, you can pop his head off and use him as a spare body for any spare Chucky head you have lying around. This head sculpt here is inspired by his perfect Chucky look, which came with that original Ultimate figure. And I must say it's a pretty tight fit, but it does fit on pretty well. And if you have that original Ultimate Chucky figure, you can use the Good Guy Boss accessories that he comes with and pair it up with this one. You can see how much more vibrant this new version is than the original. And I'm thinking I may like the TV show version just a bit more. Pretty neat. So yeah, these blind box figures aren't only fun to collect, but they can really enhance the other Chucky figures that Next has already come out with. But I know what you're thinking. Well, I have to admit, it wasn't just luck. I actually used this scale. This is a multi-platform kitchen scale from the company Taylor. I bought it from Walmart for like 10 or 15 bucks. And with the simple press of a button, it's pretty easy to use. What I like the most about it is that it can cycle through different units of measurement. So for the Blind Box series, I primarily focused on grams and ounces. So essentially what I do is take a good guy figure, place it on the scale, and measure it. Because each of these figures are pretty different from each other in terms of sculpt and accessories, I was pretty sure I could get 6 distinct measurements. And so, once I measured each one 3 times to account for any margins of error, I labeled them with sticky notes and then picked the 6 unique ones. And voila, I got all 6 figures. Pretty good idea! Now, does it take some of the fun and luck out of blind box collecting? Sure. But it did keep me from opening these 3 other blind box figures, so now I can return these extra ones to Walmart and give another collector a shot at it. Ultimately, saving me time and money in the process. And to help you guys out even more, here are all the unique measurements I got in both ounces and grams for each of the figures. Figures in their boxes. Now your mileage may vary depending on the scale that you use, but hopefully this helps narrow down your search. Now that's what I call collecting responsible. He said it! He said it! But on that note, I think it's time for a size comparison. Like previous releases, the Chucky Blind Box.
Maria. Oxyribonucleic acid.
Also, those scales are bigger, and you could probably plug them into distance lines too. Kind of come get a reference. You can see he still looks appropriately dull.
Digital. Do you know what deoxyribonucleic acid is? Marble Garden.
The 7-inch scale, I think Chucky works perfect with the Stranger Things figure by the Gross Boys. And even though it's a bit odd, I think he also looks great when posed next to the bigger, obscure characters by the Studios. Here he is next to some of my favorite rebuilders currently in my collection of the Vision from Shadow Wolf Troopers by Skeletor. But you can see how absolutely dwarfed Chucky is when he's also by Skeletor. He could rather puny when paired next to some Max and other vehicles. Those next to some essential bad guys from NECA's TMNT line, like Krang, Shredder, as well as Bebop and Rocksteady. And sticking with NECA, here's how we look here next to the 80s and 90s horror icons like Pinhead, Leprechaun, Michael, and the 1990s Pennywise. And of course, you can appear one of these Chucky offerings, like the looks you can get from the first three films from the original Ultimate Chucky figure, Bride of Chucky 2 pack with a Scar Chucky and Tiffany, as well as the recent Surf's Up Chucky. Finally, there's a little bit of a reaction to the song. But for my final thoughts, the Chucky Blind Bond series by NECA was surprisingly fun. I'm typically not into the idea of blind bonding because I personally like knowing what I'm getting when I buy something. But I must say I had a blast pulling each of the 6 Chuckies with no mistake. There are some very inspired and daring designs here that would have been impossible to stuff into Ultimate figures, so I can understand why NECA went this route. It also makes me want to track down the Ultimate Chucky from the television series, along with the holiday variant, which both make great companion pieces to go with the rest of the
The last animation. Absolutely.
basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do whatever you want.
Let me just use.
Widespread terror in America, especially among families with kids. Tens of thousands died, and those who survived were often left paralyzed, disfigured, or confined to an iron lung. As the disease was eradicated by childhood immunization, so was the need for this dinosaur. In fact, the very last American living in an iron lung was right here in Oklahoma.
I got it on my 5th birthday.
In 1953.
I woke up, and it was gray, and I started to sit up.
The last living
My dad was killing me, my throat. And I couldn't lift my head off the pillow.
2 years before the vaccine.
So I started blue. So I wasn't breathing, so I said I was blue.
35,000 Americans got polio that year.
After 4 days, I went unconscious.
Half were paralyzed.
I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move my arms or legs.
And the iron lung saved her life.
They usually didn't like to put children in because they fought it. But I didn't. I liked it. I mean, it felt good to breathe.
Margaret Ann Lillard spent 6 months in the hospital learning to breathe on her own, living in an iron lung 23 hours a day.
When I got in it at night, I was tired. Always getting in there felt wonderful.
She came home to Shawnee with the iron lung. Eventually, she taught herself to walk again. Her right arm remained paralyzed, but she could partially use her left. Her grandfather retrofitted the tank, having this patch from the inside.
So Martha's been able to get in and out since she was a teenager. Since you were 16, right? 15.
Martha's childhood was wrecked by polio. She never went to the prom, never graduated high school.
I tried the turtle shell. I tried the toxic. I tried the Emerson wrap. That's what you did when you wrap yourself with plastic.
Over the decades, some polio survivors transitioned to modern respirators. But for Martha, nothing worked like the bellows of the iron lung.
They had a lot of different colors, but none of them could get up to this 21 pounds, which is what I needed to breathe.
She was able to live outside the iron lung. In her healthiest years, Martha climbed in only to sleep 9 hours a night, a respite for her one working lung.
I bought this one from a guy in Argentina. The other one broke down with no care.
She lived independently until recently, often using a portable ventilator outside of the iron lung.
She didn't really require a caretaker until COVID. She fixed her own meals and took care of everything herself.
Martha developed post-polio syndrome, a devastating long-term effect.
So the little things disappeared.
Yeah, isn't polio what?
Other people might not
What to
even notice. You know, I would notice it.
The iron lung was her saving grace. Until COVID-19, long-haul COVID, and shingles. But do you feel proud
of what?
That you have survived?
Well, I wouldn't have wanted to die of polio, but I have. But I would a lot rather not have been born. I wouldn't want to take anything away from what I believe was master. I'd rather not do it.
At 78 years old, Martha can no longer breathe on her own. She's lying on her back, but she can't sit up by herself. The past 6 months, she's been in the pressure chamber 24 hours a day. And like her own body, the iron lung has started to break down.
The parts, some of the parts are from the sheds of the 40s, and that is, they're hard to locate. We have a spare motor, but we don't have anyone that could put it back in if we needed it.
Power flash just ahead of me at the Shawnee Mall. Power flash.
Last year, a tornado knocked out the power here. Her generator failed, and Martha's husband did mouth-to-mouth resuscitation until help arrived. Has this been a hard life?
And not for the reasons that you would think. Mostly bureaucracy, from people's lack of unwillingness to understand.
Do you think you will spend much more time out of this iron?
I don't really think so now.
Martha faced death head-on 73 years. She fought with courage, breath by breath. On the last day in June, she took her last breath.
We all knew this day would come. Sign an executive order, restrict the vote by mail, and give the Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Martha was removed from the vacuum.
About the last one past.
And for the first
I
time
was that
in
guy.
73 years, she slept outside the iron lung.
Unto you, Almighty
Yeah,
God,
maybe
and
she-
the soul of our
she was
sister
the last
departed,
Eternal rest.
we commit her body to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Her life was a testament to the cruelty of disease and the power of medicine.
Were you ever surprised that Martha lived so long?
Yes, I was. And you know, but she's determined.
a crushing loss for her husband, her sister, and so many others who have admired a longevity that defied all odds.
But you're now free. You are free now, Martha.
Martha Ann Lillard, the keeper of a memory the world would like to forget. Now free of the prison of the last iron lung.
We went to her home just 3 weeks ago, and when we did, Martha gave me this handwritten note, a short list of things that would make her life better, the last notation, someone to visit. So while we are terribly sad to bring you the news of her death, I do feel incredibly grateful we got to meet her and to visit just 8 days before her death, and I am honored to share the story of her remarkable life, the last American.
Incredible. I wanted to push on this, the husband. Tell the story of that, because that's pretty incredible too. When did they meet? When did they get married?
They met in 2005 on a Yahoo chat room. She did spend a lot of time online. He's from Egypt. He moved here last year. They got married in February. Thinking about that family again.
How would you introduce Bud to the world?
This little guy has been through more than anything that you and I or anybody else will probably experience in the short time he's been alive. But he endures, he's a fighter, and he never gives up.
How old is Bud?
He is 3, he'll be 4 in June. He was not born this way. He is a victim of, however, he's overcome and he's a fighter, and so with what he has, his situation, he sees us quite often, as you can tell. So we balance that with medication, and he has lots of doctor visits for that.
Do you have any estimation of how many seizures he has in a day?
It's really hard to tell and how to count because there's so many, and some days are more frequent than others, but there are multiple, and he'll have multiple at a time, and sometimes they will go for a few minutes, and then sometimes they're quicker. But even when he's having one for a few minutes, it seems like a long time just because you don't really know what he's feeling, and he can't tell you. So,
when he was born, he wasn't experiencing any seizures?
No, he was a normal little boy when he was born, up until probably 8 months. He was a normal little boy. So I'm still waking up a little bit. He was, and I've seen a video of him crawling around, kind of jabbering, talking, so up until that point.
Do you know if it was one incident or repeated incidents?
We know of repeated. The final one is what sent him to emergency care, which was when he was, I'll say, very life-threatening at that point, in emergency care. And that's when all of this began, because of the damage. Yes. And here we go. We're having a little seizure now as we speak. So we'll just take a minute, and it takes you a minute to come through that. Yeah. Okay, buddy. Yeah. Should I do it again?
I'm so sad. She has about females and phosphorus.
I've seen a lot in my 81 years, and one thing has been true through it all.
Self-endured, not
Everything keeps getting more and more expensive.
When he was having the seizure, I saw you grab something. Can you explain what that is?
Yes. Actually, he has a plate that had to be installed. And so this is basically a magnet, which will actually, when he has those, it will help activate the plate. The plate stays active, and it senses when he's having them. But this will help with that, too. So it promotes it.
What's it like for you when he has a seizure?
Well, I get very anxious. His mother does very good with it. I get very anxious. I want to fix him. I don't want him to feel like that. My mind automatically goes to, what's he feeling, what's he thinking. You just hope they're short features, and sometimes they're not.
Hey, Roro. How are you today? What's your favorite thing to do?
Playground back there.
What do you like to do on your playground?
We can play.
What do you like to do with your brother?
Show him some toys.
What does he do when you show him some toys?
He stares at them.
Is there anything that makes your brother special?
Because sometimes he smiles at me.
How do you feel when he smiles at you?
Happy.
Can you explain to me who you are in relation to Bud?
I'm his uncle, of course, first and foremost. Oh, there we go. But I like to think I'm one of his very best friends and very best protectors in the world. I feel like it's a feeling that I can't explain. I don't have children of my own, and honestly, I never knew what love was like until these two kids taught me what love was for a child, which has been amazing. And so I think we have a special bond. Matter of fact,
how would you describe what love is for a child?
Protection, security, providing for what they need, and especially in his case, just making sure that he gets everything he needs.
I want to provide some context for the viewer here, and feel free to add anything onto this. And that context is that Bud and his bio sister Roro were adopted into a very loving family with a mom, dad, and uncle. And you have been volunteered as the advocate for the day, because it's a very emotional topic, and everybody thought that you may handle talking about it the best.
First of all, I'm very pleased that they felt that I could do that. I'm very pleased. Anytime I'm invited into his life, it's a blessing for me. I enjoy it just because, like I said, the love that I have for these kids is just, I can't explain it. I use the phrase when I talk to people about him and Roro, they adopted us. We didn't adopt, they didn't adopt them, they adopted us. And so I love that piece of it, that we need them. And so it's special.
Before we started this interview, you were making amazing art. Do you want to show people the art you made? Here. You're very talented, so you should show it off. Do you like making things like that?
Yeah.
How do you feel when you do art?
Happy.
Did you ever make anything for your brother?
I draw something for him.
What kind of things do you draw?
Hearts.
That's very sweet of you. Why did you choose hearts?
Because hearts means love.
How much do you love your brother?
100%.
Tell me about the bond between Bud and his sister.
That bond is amazing. She loves him, and you can just tell that he loves her. He can hear her voice when she comes into a room, and his head just turns. He's looking for her. So we had her probably about 18 months before we were able to get Bud, and so. And the amazing story here that I really want people to know too is he was there in the hospital. The social workers immediately went to my nephew and his wife, who, with no question, took off with him. They sat with him, and I honestly think that the love he felt, kids need touch. They need attention. And I think the love that this little guy felt gave him the will to go on, and here we are today, because he's a miracle every day. The system failed him, and I could talk to you all day about that. They failed him, because he should not be in this condition today. My nephew and his wife was offered the opportunity, if it would become available, to take this child when he was born. And while his sister had been taken out of that home, the system allowed this child to stay in that home. The system let this happen.
They wanted to take him right when he was born?
My nephew and his wife? Absolutely. They absolutely did. And even, you think about it, just to tell you what kind of people they are, they wanted that because they knew they didn't want him in that environment. Yet 8 months later, they're called they're called to come where he's in critical care. They didn't bat an eye. I can remember my nephew calling me and saying the condition he was in, didn't know if he was going to make it, on a ventilator, resuscitated. And I can remember him saying, and I'll tear up with this, and I said, my first concern was, how are they going to take care of him? And he said, we'll make it happen. There was never a doubt. And so that love, I feel like, the fight in this little guy to bring him through. And he's the reason that him and Roro are safe today and in a loving home. So God has a plan and God has a purpose.
Do you have any insight as to why the system prevented them from being reunited when he was born?
Well, I don't. I don't have an explanation for that because I know the conversation was held that, would you be willing to take him? And they immediately said yes. However, the system allowed other family to keep him when they knew the conditions that they had moved his sister out under. None of that makes sense to me. I mean, I realize you want to try to keep families together, but is that really the benefit of the child? I don't think so.
What type of emotions do you experience when you think about that?
Anger.
Do you talk to your brother a lot? What do you say to him?
Hi, bye.
We want him to have interaction with others, with other children, with other adults, because that he likes that. He loves people. He's a very friendly person. And, you know, it's just like I said earlier, kids love attention. They love love. They love the touch. So, yeah, very inviting.
If somebody wants to come up and be Bud's friend, what should they do? What should they say?
I think just like how you've done with him today, we need to just come up to him and just say, hey, how are you? And just start a conversation with him. And then those little eyes just follow through. And maybe he can't speak to you, but his expressions, he knows. He knows.
Hey, Bud. I'm so happy I get to be here with you today. Is it okay if I give him a pat on the shoulder? I'm so happy to be here with you. My name is Chris, and I heard that you're an amazing person. I heard that you're a lot of fun to be around, and it makes me really happy I get to be your friend today. I can tell just by sitting with you how cool you are, and how smart you are. And it makes me really happy that I have a friend like you. You're the best.
In Albion, no matter where you go or what you do, your map will accompany you on your journey. Perhaps you'll pick the...
How do you bond with Bud?
Oh, my goodness. Well, all I have to do is see him, and my bond starts immediately. I go to him, and I like to think that he sees me, and I think he recognizes me. I think he recognizes my voice, and it warms my heart. It just melts.
Does he like when people talk to him directly and interact with him?
He does. Yep, he does. And, you know, I believe that he hears. I believe that he sees, and I believe that he knows. But there's one thing I do know. He knows he's loved. There's no doubt in my mind he knows he's loved. Because he can hear my nephew or his wife or his sister, Roro. He can hear their voice and the head just starts going because he knows he's loved and he loves his little family.
When you were talking about his abilities, you said you believe he can see, you believe he can hear.
I do.
You believe. Do the doctors tell you what they believe?
When he was early on, a local neurologist here basically said, there's nothing in here. He doesn't see. Well, clearly he was wrong, right? Because I believe he can see. I don't know exactly what he sees, but just like when you talk to him, he looks at you, he gives a little smile. He's a smart little guy. I mean, they're wrong. So, yes, I believe.
And I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself, because that's what friends do. They share information. 3 of my favorite things are my dog. My dog is named Gizmo. And you know why? I want to show you a picture of my dog. So let me go get my phone, and I'll show you a picture of my dog. You want to see a picture of my dog? I'll go get the phone now. I did notice when I said hi to Bud, he looked me right in the eye the whole entire time.
Yeah, and he does. He knows. And I think that's very important. He loves that attention. So, and that's what we want the world to know. Is just, he's a person just like me and you. He is, matter of fact, he's a teacher, I would say. Because honestly, if you want to learn what joy is, if you want to learn what love is, spend just a few minutes with this child and you'll know all about it. Here she is. Here, let me zoom in. You see her smiling really big? She's a silly dog. How old was Bud when he came into this home? He was 8 months. Did you meet him right away? I did. They brought him home on Thursday. I was here on Saturday. Didn't know what I was going to meet. He was sitting right here in this floor in a little carrier, and that is when this little boy took my heart. I got to hold him and I got to play with him, and me and him have been buddies ever since. How big was he at the time? Oh my goodness. He was about half the size he is now, and just thin, kind of frail. But he's grown, and he's just blossomed, and he's very well nourished and taken care of. It's hard to fathom that a person could be violent against a child, yet alone a baby. Right. I just can't grasp it. You know, I don't think about that as much because it's very sad. You just have to think, I can't grasp that either. And I'm thankful that we can. Because I think that the people that do that, they couldn't have a right mindset. It'd be like the same cruelty to an animal, right? They're helpless. They can't defend themselves. He couldn't defend himself. Yet he was in an environment where this was allowed to happen to him. So I'm just thankful we can relate to that. You just, honestly, you pray for people like that because they have to live with it. They have to know what they did. Are there any resources to stop violence against children before it happens? I think that the agencies, like the children's advocacy agencies and so forth, I think they try to promote that. But I don't think there's a lot of resources to prevent it before it happens. And that's the sad thing. Hey, boss. Hey, Roro. How are you guys doing today? I have a really important question for both of you. Are you ready for the really important question?
Yeah.
If you could meet either a mermaid or a unicorn, which one would you choose?
100% mermaid.
Why do you choose a mermaid 100%?
Because I like him.
Does Roro know about Bud's story? I don't think she knows it in detail yet. But that time will come. Yeah, that time will come. Now, I can tell, Roro, that you're pretty awesome, and I can tell that your brother's pretty awesome. If I want to be friends with Bud, what should I say to him? Hey, Bud, do you want to be my BFF? Was that a yes? I think so, too. And I'm really happy we're BFFs now. So what do BFFs do together?
They usually play a lot, and they hold hands.
Another thing I love is music. I love listening to rock and roll. Another thing I love, the last one I'll share with you, is volleyball. I love playing volleyball. I love watching volleyball. It's my favorite sport in the world.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, $118 for car insurance. That's how much I was paying. Okay? I picked up the car a few months ago, and watch this. Ready? $97 premium, $20 for my fees, $118. Now, I covered up my private information, guys. $39, $118. Check this out. Ready? 500 for comprehensive, 500 for collision, 500 for comprehensive, 500 for collision. Okay? the